Resin Architect. Yes, I've gotten hold of the alpha version of this game. First thing I'm going to do is go to audio settings. Let's have that volume down a bit, shall we? So I can be heard. Yes, I got hold of it's still in alpha. It's not released yet. It's quite interesting, that. CEO, incoming call. How do I lose the options screen? There we go. This is a tough one. There's a prisoner incarcerated at this facility who's been convicted of a double murder and sentenced to death. That's where we come in. We've been contracted to construct an execution chamber in time for the guy's big day. This is where I want the new facility to be built. The first step with any project like this is to construct the building itself, with enough space inside to fit an execution room and a holding cell. So let's get started. Construct a new building here. We will also need an entrance to the new execution facility. So basically, this is what I'm doing with this video, is just basically running through the tutorial. It's an introduction to the game. Build a large jail door in the south wall. Okay. See if I can get rid of this menu screen. They want me to build, so you do it like this, and then objects, door, there. Your workmen are responsible for construction of buildings. They'll collect the steel and concrete from this storeroom and take it to the construction site. They'll use those raw materials to build the foundations and framework of your new building. This is the slowest part of construction, so you should plan ahead when building new facilities. While we wait, take a look around. Use to move around and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So you can zoom all the way out and get a big overview of the whole thing. Garbage, deliveries, shower room's been built here. These are the holding cells here, another shower room's over here, the kitchen's there. You've got the yard in the centre there, you've got the canteen here. And then you can zoom all the way in. There they are taking a shower. Inside the building I want a jail cell and an execution room. Partition the space by constructing some brick walls. So I want a brick wall here, put a small one there, a little one there, a little one there. Now wait for the work people to complete that. See, shower time's finished. You can see they're in the kitchen getting the food ready. Bunch of cooks. I like the sound of that. Whilst the prisoners are back in their cells. So there you go. See how this is getting on here. Brick wall. Still being built. Oh, you get a progress up here. Build internal walls and how complete they are. Job's done. Now add large jail doors to those dividing walls. You can rotate an object before placement. So, objects. Large door, a large door there. And rotate, and another one there. Right. That's been ordered. So, an overview now, as wait for this job to complete, you can see the yard. It must be yard time, because they're in here. in the yard running around. That's looking good. We now need to designate rooms within those spaces. Designate a cell in the smaller area where our condemned inmate will live. Then designate the execution room itself in the larger area. Okay, rooms. Cell. So this is going to be the cell, and this large one is going to be the execution room. Done that. Those new rooms have requirements before they become functional. The cell needs a bed and a toilet, and the execution room requires the electric chair. So let's zoom in a bit, and bed, toilet, electric chair. Now we just wait for the workmen to install that lot. Let's see the clock over here. Tells you the time. Just moved into PM there, so it's just after noon. See some deliveries arriving there, and there's the bed, and there's the toilet. They've got to be carried all the way across. Up here we've got the warden's office, the chief's office, and the foreman's office. Storage area down there. So, there they go. They're installing the bed and the toilet. Well, they work fast. That's the essentials taken care of, but there are still a few improvements you could make, but it's up to you though. These aren't strictly required, it depends how much you care about your prisoners and their environment. The cell itself could be improved with an outward-facing window and a small bookshelf. And the facility would look better with a higher quality floor material, like wooden floorboards or tiles. Outside you could add some lighting and a paved pathway if you think it needs it. This is the man in question, Edward Romsey. A teacher once, would you believe? It's not our place to decide if he deserves this. The law has made that decision. We're just here to do a job. Once you're satisfied the facility is ready, you can begin the prisoner transfer to his new cell. You simply click on him to select him, and then right-click just outside his cell to initiate the transfer. Now, when I had a look at this playthrough before I recorded a video, I made all kinds of mistakes here. I was clicking on the wrong guy, and at one point there was 2 guys in one cell, and I really messed up. Anyway, so I'll try and get the right person this time. So all you do is you select him. I'm not going to give him a bookshelf. I'm not going to do the window or anything like that. Just going to select him, right-click just outside his cell to initiate the transfer. So I select him. I'll try to anyway. He's there with the priest. Bed. Edward. Right-click. Hasn't he got a guard accompanying him? He goes there by himself. How does he get through the door? Okay, so he's there. It says actor when I click on him. Actor. That's interesting. Ow! I messed up again. I was supposed to send him here. Not all the way over there. It says right click in the zone outside his cell. I sent him all the way over to the execution chamber. There you go. Now the guards come to collect him. Don't shed one tear for this guy. He's a stone-cold killer, guilty as charged. He even confessed. Want to hear his description of what he did? It's juicy stuff. It was around 11 PM. The lights were already on. I knew she was home. What's this? We're getting a recollection of the scene now, I guess. Oh my goodness. This isn't going to need a 18 certificate, is it? I knew I'd catch you two here. Edward, don't. Just don't. What are you going to do? Nice arm placement there. Now back to the present. Clear as day, if you ask me. He deserves every vote he's gonna get. The priest. All men deserve forgiveness, even him. Are you so sure in yourself that you can deal out such final judgment? The chief. Catching your wife with another man is no excuse for what he did. And he went there with a loaded gun, knowing he'd find them together. That's double premeditated murder. The priest. He's done nothing but cooperate with the authorities. This state is making an example of him. If he committed his crime 100 miles north, he'd be looking at life imprisonment instead. How is that justice? The chief. Do you want a guy like this running free? I'll sleep just fine at night when I know he's gone. Good work so far. However, there is one problem. The execution room isn't functioning yet, because it doesn't have any power. See, you can't sentence the guy to death by electric chair if there's no bloody power. We need to connect it to the electricity supply. Okay, how about lethal injection instead then, because that doesn't require electricity. We are now viewing the prison in utilities mode, which shows us the electrical wiring layout for the entire prison. Each building in the prison is connected to the power grid by these thick underground electrical cables. Power is provided to the prison by this substation, which draws electricity from the national grid. As you can see, this entire wing of prison cells is without power. All the lights are out. To fix this problem, we first need to switch into utilities mode to understand why the lights are without power. The nearest electrical cables are too far away. Our engineers can't complete the wiring for this area. Extend the electrical cables nearby to cover this wing of the prison. Can I do that now? Okay. Utilities, electrical cable, click on that. And then you just go... Well, I guess you would just extend them further along. I can see pots and pans moving around by themselves, so... Something like that. Let's wait till the workmen get there, I guess. Alright, is anything going to happen? Ah, here he goes. He's working on it. Oh, he's finished. Ah, here they come. The job is partially done. But there are still some rooms that don't have power yet. Ah, there we go. Well, I'm still missing one room connected to the electricity supply. Okay, I better electrical cable and go. Build it further along. There's a room down here which still isn't powered yet. What else have we got here? You can build a power station. Generates electricity to be used in your prison. Capacitor expands the power station that the capacitor is placed next to. Power switch toggles the availability of electricity to any cable connected to it. Water pump station provides a source of water to your prison. Pipe valve toggles the ability of water to any pipe connected to it. Large pipe distributes a large amount of water around your prison, probably big enough for someone to crawl to freedom through. 500 yards of shit-smelling foulness. Small pipe distributes water around your prison. Dismantle utility. Still waiting for this job to complete yet. Here they come. Done. No? Ah, yes. It's done. Now back to this. Lights aren't the only thing that needs power. Your new electric chair does too. Use the power cables to connect the execution facility to the power grid. The electric chair itself is a special type of electrical item. It requires its own dedicated power line. You'll need to connect it up directly with mains cables. So, here we go. Where's the nearest, the nearest electrical cable is down here, I guess. So if I branch off from this one down here, come up like this. See how it gets on with that. It's possibly not far enough there, the electric cables. They've probably got to go right into the building itself. And, yeah. Don't know why they're taking so long over this. That's got it partially powered, yep. Now the gel cell is connected to the electrical supply, but the electric chair has also got to be connected. Let's put a bit more cable in there. I see the percentage going up. 87% it says here. So not quite done yet. Strange, the percentage is going back down. Oh, it's going back up again now. This is strange, very strange. %, nearly there. We're almost done. I think we should test the new execution room at least once before we try to use it though. I'm just going to turn it on for a few seconds, make sure everything is okay. Well, that didn't work. Looks like we drew too much power and tripped a circuit breaker in the power station. The whole prison is dark. We're going to need more juice to be able to handle the power spike that the electric chair generates. First, we need to turn the power back on. This is a two-step process. Step 1, switch each capacitor back on by clicking on them in utilities mode. And step 2, switch the power station back on by clicking on it. Then build 3 more capacitors so we have enough power capacity to handle the electric chair. Once you've done that, test the electric chair again by clicking on it in utilities mode to turn it on. Oh, it's getting complicated. So what have I got to do? In utilities mode, I've got to click on each capacitor. Switch on. Right, we got the power back on. Expand the power station with 3 new capacitors. 1, 2, 3. So wait for them to be built. One capacitor. It's quite nice here, isn't it? The actual power station itself tells you. A little bar there on the side which tells you, gives you a general indication of how much power is being used. Here comes the second capacitor. So that red bar will probably go down a little bit when this goes online. Yes, it does. Just wait for the third capacitor. And now, test the chair again, click on it in utilities mode to turn it on. So I go all the way back to the chair. What's happening here? Oh no. I need to be back in utilities mode. Click on it, switch on. Done it. Well done. I believe we are finished with this job. What happens now is out of our hands. We did a professional job, and that's important in our business. Try not to worry about what happens next. The priest, can I help you? Edward. Silence. Are you looking for forgiveness? I don't know. I have to do something. I can't live with the things I've done. The priest, you have to turn yourself in. Whatever you've done, you cannot evade the consequences. You will never be able to live with yourself until you face up to your past. Edward, I want to go back. I want to forgive her. I want to forgive me. The priest, God will forgive you no matter what you have done if you ask him to. The priest, but you must answer for your crimes in the eyes of the law. There is no other way. The priest, it is time, Edward. You have done the right thing, even though this world will not forgive you for it. You will be with God soon, and he will have the final judgment on you. Chief, Edward Romsey, you have been found guilty of 2 counts of murder in the first degree. The penalty is death. Do you have anything to say? Edward, Susan, I'm sorry. And that is at least the initial look at the introduction to Prison Architect. It's at a reduced price on Steam. It's still in alpha, but you know, in purchasing it now, I basically now I get the updates and what have you as more updates come out, and eventually we'll have the finished product. And it looks like a pretty interesting game. So, see you next time.